Hello and welcome to another Santa Barbara Battle Report. I'm Paul and I'm playing Nate. I'm playing my Trollbloods. Here's my deployment. I've got Horthol over here on the right flank mixed up with some Femblades and a Chronicler. I've got my battle group, an Impaler. I'm playing Jarl as my warlock. An Earthborn for some melee damage. I've got a Runebearer, a full line of champions, a Fellcaller, and a full retinue of cavalry with Horthol on the right flank. So I got Atlan in the front there because I got
Alton Ashley.
Alton Ashley. And I got a hill because of my league bonus. And that is my deployment.
Okay, so I'm Nate and I'm playing Cygnar today. And I'm actually going to play with Sloan, which is right here. But I took a lot of jacks. I took a Thunderhead, a Storm, a Clad, a Defender, and a couple of Hunters up here with Advanced Deploy. She's got Reinhold with her because if you're playing Sloan without Reinhold, you need to L2P. And then we've also got a Squire back here. I picked up Mr. Captain Arlen Strangeways because I got a lot of jacks and I figured it would come in handy. And then I've got a unit of the Arcane Tempest Gun Mages with the leader. And up in front here I've got Kel Balok, who's ready to hopefully snipe some of this bazillion trolls that are against the board on me here. And that's my deployment.
So beginning of turn one, you can see my general deployment is pretty standard for Jarl. If you look over on the left here, I brought Horthol up over on the flank. The Fenblades have Weld Secrets on them and Tail of Mist, giving them +4 to defense, and they currently have Pathfinder from the upkeep spell. Jarl moved up, he cast Tactical Supremacy and Weld Secrets on the units. And then he moved up on the hill. The Impaler ran up, riled for 1. The Earthborn riled for 1 and ran up for 1. The Runebearer popped his mini feat and gave Quicken to the Long Riders. It's a pretty standard move because Jarl doesn't have usually the range and the fury to put out all those different upkeep spells on the first turn. The Champions with Tactical Supremacy, they moved up about 13 inches. 10 for the run, 3 for Tactical Supremacy, and the Fellcaller, he moved up afterwards. Atlan is just chilling out. So that is my first turn.
Turn one! Not so hot. I thought I might have range on the casters, so I kind of went a little aggressive and popped my feet with Sloan and moved up, and then she didn't have range, and then the jacks didn't really have range to shoot, so they just took out like a couple of trolls over here and a couple of trolls over there. Not a lot happened. I moved up with these two hunters and they took pot shots. Big deal. The defender took a pot shot and missed. Sloan was able to kill a couple. The gun mages shot up at these guys and hit them, but they were too far out of range, so I couldn't do critical brutal, and instead they were just regular damaging them at arm 18 with POW 10, so they didn't really do much of anything. So I'm looking like I'm probably going to get what the fuck stomped this coming turn. So turn in for turn 2 to see a lot of dead Cygnar models.
Okay, so here in the beginning of turn 2, as you can see, I've moved up. I'm playing a mainly ranged opponent, and so I really have got to get my swords up into his face. So the champions, I actually need to move them another 3 inches, so they'll probably end up engaging the gun mages due to Tactical Supremacy, so I'll do that after the filming. You can see on the left flank, the Long Riders are using Quicken to their advantage and moving up quite quickly. The Fenblades did a charge order on the Hunter. These two guys charged the Hunter. I missed on the first attack. I rolled really well to hit on the second attack, but I whiffed on the damage. So only 2 points to the Hunter. Then the rest of them kind of moved up. He's got his Thunderhead over there and his Stormclad. They're very deadly, so I've really got to shift my attack away from them. Learned that early on, stay away from the Thunderhead. Horthol, he's playing kind of back for the moment. Jarl, when he activated, he was just shy of 16 inches of the officer at the front there. He was just shy. He took a shot at the Hunter and he missed. Some support units, the Impalers hanging back in the back, and the Runebearer ran up. That's it for beginning of turn 2.
So we're at the bottom of turn 2, and I actually had fun this turn. More fun than I was expecting at gunline versus melee, whatever. He didn't quite get in on me enough to totally decapitate me. So I'll start over here with what happened with the gun mages, because this was kind of fun. I started with Sloan, actually, and if you remember, there was a unit of the, what are they called, Paul?
Champions.
Champions engaging my gun mages over here. Sloan offed one of them, broke up their shield wall, and then the remainder of the gun mages used some thunderbolts, the ones that weren't engaged.
Defensive line.
Defensive line, sorry. The gun mages that were not engaged used Thunderbolt to back off the ones that the models from the ones that were engaged, and then the ones that were engaged finished them off with critical brutals. Actually, I shouldn't say finish them off because I did have to take a couple of shots with Kel Balog to kill the last one.
Medium bases, they don't get screened by very much.
They don't
it's a
get
nice
screened.
thing they have that high rat too, as far as shooting the melee and everything too.
Yes, that helped. Plus, oh, they had Deadeye from Sloan, so that definitely helped. Without that,
yeah,
that was a big deal.
Next thing I did was with the hunters, I backed them up and parry, so they didn't take any damage getting out of melee. They shot off a couple of the fen blades. Then the defender shot off another fen blade and actually killed him. After that, my Stormclad moved up, and he had a point of focus from Strange Ways, and he got a shot off and killed a fen blade. The Electroleap did not kill any fen blades.
You rolled really well. They were defense 16.
I rolled really well, and Paul did not get his tough rolls for once in his life.
I don't think I made very many tough rolls this turn.
So that's how that turn kind of played out, and that's pretty much it. We'll see you on top of turn 3.
Okay, so we're at the top of turn 3, and it's getting pretty intense. As you can see on the board, things are starting to get really ramped up. The Femblades and the Long Riders both charged into the Gun Mages. Maybe not the best tactical move. I forgot about Tall in the Saddle, and the Forest really helped him with the flanking Long Riders. Beyond that, Atlan was able to take out one of the Gun Mages. The Long Rider was able to take out one of the Gun Mages, taking them down their numbers. Beyond that, Jarl, he took a shot and he missed his first magic bullet shot, which was disappointing, and then he hit the officer, killing the officer with his second shot. Orthol, he's just hanging out here. He doesn't really have too many avenues. The rough terrain is really making it difficult.
Total standoff over here. The Jacks didn't move, the EBT hasn't moved.
So we'll see what happens in turn number 3 when hopefully something more happens.
Okay, so here we are, bottom of turn 3, and I thought I was going to have more fun this turn than I did, because I was shooting at his caster with my battle group, but the battle group did some good damage, and then they missed him, and then he got to move out of the way.
They did some good damage. He's only got 4 life left.
He did some good damage.
Wow.
But Paul didn't transfer, so that could have been less damage than it was.
Yeah.
In any case, that's what my battle group did, was Sloan moved around, and she cast the extra extended range on the battle group, and then did a refuge move, and she knocked off one of these Trollbloods, whatever the fuck they're called, Fenblades. And then my battle group did some damage to the caster. I nearly forgot to activate my gun mages because they were engaged and I didn't think they were going to do anything, but they actually did a melee attack and killed a Fenblade in melee, yay! And then he knocked himself down with that. They don't have gunfighters, so unfortunately. I wish they did, then they'd be unstoppable. The only other thing that I did was, I moved up my Stormcloud. This was kind of fun, and I shot at a model here that I thought was going to cause a lightning to arc to his caster, but I forgot that the Earthborn guy was right there. So unfortunately I didn't do any damage there. But it was a fun turn, and we'll see what happens in bottom or top of turn 4.
Okay, so the top of turn 4, this game is getting pretty intense. Jarl popped his feet to hopefully give him a good screen from all these heavy models.
A magical bag appeared on the table.
So over here, the gun mages were wiped out by a vengeance move, and then this guy charged the last gun mage. These two guys got in a charge on the Thunderhead, doing some points of damage, not very much. He ran over here to try to start engaging these guys, but the difficult terrain proved making them slow. Yes. The Fell Caller gave them the +2 to hit. They didn't really need it, but it was useful anyways. Probably could have given them Pathfinder instead, which would have really helped their distance. Didn't think about it. Blades got out of the way. Atlan Ashley over here, he killed a gun mage, Alton. And let's see, Jarl had a big turn. He put some damage on the hunter. Not very much, usually just scraping him. He's got 1 fury left. He popped his feet. He put 2 clouds in base to base or overlapping so you cannot draw line of sight through them. He put one over here to help Horthal get to this guy with Pathfinder. He would put one on the big obstruction here, which proved really helpful because the Earthborn was able to charge in, and he took out the Stormclad. Horthal critically knocked him down and then made critical stagger on him, so that made him pretty useless. The Earthborn came in auto-hitting. He hit him once with his charge attack, and then he used his second attack against the hunter. Since the Stormclad was very much almost dead, I wanted to use his Palvis weapon with adaptation on the Earthborn to wreck the hunter, so I thought that was really good before I killed the Stormclad. Bought a third attack, killed the Stormclad. Beyond that, these guys in the back, the support units, ran, and he rolled a 2 for his shock lock, so he took off 2 hit points, but he's already damaged. So the end of the beginning of turn 4.
Okay, here we are on the bottom of turn 4, and first thing I did was I moved my defender up, and he engaged the Earthborn Dire Troll and took a few whacks at him and took a bunch of damage off, but didn't kill him or anything. Then I moved my hunter back, and he took a shot at this cavalry solo, and he took 5 damage off him, didn't kill him. Next, the Thunderhead went up here and he engaged 2 Tuffalos, knocked one down, made him make tough rolls, 2 tough rolls, and he tasked 2 tough rolls, and killed another one. My caster took her 2 shots and she killed a Tuffalo. And I took a few points of damage off my Thunderhead with Captain Arlen's Strangeways. Other than that, it was just a little bit of movement. But Cygnar is getting dwindled down here. I have a few models remaining. So we'll see you on top of turn 5.
Okay, so we're at the top of turn 5, and as you can see on the board, the things are starting to ramp down. The Earthborn was able to take out the Defender. Jarl was able to take out Strangeways. He put Weld Secrets. It's a T, but it's actually a W. And Horthal charged the Thunderhead along with the Long Riders. This guy failed his slam, which kind of sucked, but that's alright. These 2 guys, he made a slam and then an attack against Strangeways, and he charged the Thunderhead. The Thunderhead's doing okay. He's about half damage, but none of his systems are even touched. So, Jarl, he is sitting on 4. He boosted to hit, and he paid 1 for Weld and then 1 to boost damage. Earthborn is sitting on 3, and the Impaler is sitting on 1. So we will see what happens in the bottom of turn 5.
Okay, so bottom of turn 5, I think. Quick turn for Cygnar. I don't have too many models left. Thunderhead did some melee attacks and took out a few of the surrounding cavalry. He also dismounted the solo that was over here. Next, the hunter moved up and took a shot at the caster. Did 5 damage, which you transferred off, otherwise it would have been enough to kill him. You transferred it to the axer back here. Sloan has 2 shots, and she took both of her shots to take out the solo that was dismounted there. Unfortunately, she also ended up backstriking the Thunderhead and did a couple of points of damage on him, which may end up mattering next turn. We will see. Outside of that, yeah, see the top turn.
Okay.
It's recording.
Help you guys.
Okay, so I won, and at the beginning of turn 6. So it was a long, hard-out game, but I'll talk you through it. So Jarl was back here, and I was debating between 16 inches and standing still, and I was barely out. She was like right here, and Jarl was back here. So I didn't want to test out, see if 16 inches was that range. So I still cast Far Strike with the Impaler. I moved up Jarl. I needed 9s to hit. I hit really well. And for damage, I got a 665, and that took her out. So, good game, and very fought out, but definitely the ranged army, when I started engaging them, they started to fall apart a little bit. The ranged aspect kind of fell away.
I actually completely disagree with Paul on this statement because after I popped the feet on the first turn, there you go. I expected to fall apart much quicker than that, and actually Paul rushed his guys in, and I thought the range the gun line actually survived quite well against Paul's melee onslaught. I mean, he was running a list. If you look at the zoom out on the table, he probably had about 30 trolls on the table, and I had maybe 20 or 18 models. And really, at the end of the game, I mean, he was left with like 6 or 7 models. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 models, and I had 4 or 5 models left on the table, 6 models left on the table. The gun line set up pretty well. It just, you know, it did eventually, it ended to the gun. So, I mean, it was a gun that took him out, not a melee attack. So,
very good game.
That. Good game, Paul.